Did you know after 50 your bones lose 1% of their density every single year, silently, until they shatter? This alarming decline, often imperceptible, is a widespread challenge, particularly for postmenopausal women and aging men, according to reports from the National Osteoporosis Foundation. Conventional medicine frequently focuses on slowing this loss. But what if the narrative shifted? What if, instead of merely delaying the inevitable, we explored natural pathways not just to preserve, but to actively rebuild bone density? Evidence suggests a powerful array of botanical compounds might hold the key. We're talking about plants utilized for centuries, now gaining scientific interest for their unique mineral profiles and synergistic actions. For decades, the focus in bone health has largely been on calcium and vitamin D supplementation, alongside pharmaceutical interventions. However, a growing body of research, published in journals like the Journal of Bone and Mineral Research, questions if these approaches address the full spectrum of factors contributing to bone degradation. Investigative reports suggest that holistic strategies incorporating specific plant-based compounds could offer a multifaceted approach, supporting not just mineral deposition but the structural integrity of the bone matrix itself. We've sifted through the evidence to bring you 5 of the most compelling botanical candidates, starting our countdown with a plant renowned for its rich mineral content. Coming in at number 5 on our list, the horsetail plant, or Equisetum arvense, has captivated researchers for its exceptional silica content. Often overlooked, silica is a crucial trace mineral, not just for strong nails and hair, but for bone formation and density, acting as a precursor to collagen. Dr. Richard P. R. De Luca, in a study published in Phytotherapy Research, highlighted horsetail's role in osteoblast differentiation, meaning it aids in the creation of bone-building cells. This isn't just about adding minerals, it's about stimulating the body's own bone-making machinery. Traditional uses span millennia, but modern science is now catching up. The science behind horsetail's effectiveness for bone density centers on its unique form of silica. Unlike synthetic silica, the plant-derived silicic acid found in horsetail is highly bioavailable, meaning the body can readily absorb and utilize it. Research from the University of London's Department of Orthopaedics suggests this natural silica plays a critical role in the initial mineralization phase of bone formation. It facilitates the cross-linking of collagen fibers, providing the essential scaffold upon which calcium and other minerals are deposited. Without adequate silica, even robust calcium intake may not translate to optimal bone strength. This plant isn't just a supplement, it's a structural enhancer. But horsetail's bone-building potential isn't solely attributed to silica. This robust plant also contains a spectrum of other beneficial compounds, including flavonoids, saponins, and various minerals like potassium, manganese, and phosphorus. While silica is the star, these synergistic components contribute to its overall efficacy. Some studies, including those reviewed by the Journal of Ethnopharmacology, propose that these compounds may also possess anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties, which are crucial for maintaining a healthy bone microenvironment. Chronic inflammation is, after all, a known contributor to bone loss, making horsetail a multifaceted ally in your bone health journey. For therapeutic use, horsetail is commonly available as a dried herb for teas, tinctures, and standardized extracts. The recommended dosage often varies, but many practitioners, consistent with guidelines from the American Herbal Products Association, suggest 1 to 2 grams of dried herb per day, typically prepared as an infusion. For standardized extracts, which often concentrate the silica, a common recommendation is 300 to 600 milligrams daily, targeting an intake of 10 to 15 milligrams of elemental silica. As with any potent botanical, consultation with a healthcare professional is advised, especially if you have pre-existing conditions or are taking diuretics, due to horsetail's mild diuretic effect. Moving to number 4, we find comfrey root, or Symphytum officinale. While known primarily for its external use in healing skin and bone fractures, emerging internal research suggests potential for bone density support. Comfrey contains allantoin, a compound recognized for promoting cell proliferation and tissue regeneration. Though internal use is controversial due to pyrrolizidine alkaloids, PAs, and their liver toxicity concerns, some traditional systems cautiously utilize it. Dr. Andrew Weil's approach emphasizes meticulous sourcing of PA-free or very low PA varieties for any internal application, highlighting the need for careful investigation into its safe, effective compounds for bone health. The mechanism by which comfrey root might support bone health internally, despite its caveats, lies in its complex phytochemistry. Beyond allantoin, it contains mucilage, rosmarinic acid, and various minerals. Allantoin's role in stimulating fibroblast proliferation and increasing extracellular matrix components is well documented in wound healing. For bone, researchers at the National Institutes of Health hypothesize a similar pro-regenerative effect, potentially supporting osteoblast activity and collagen synthesis indirectly. However, this remains an area of ongoing research, with the challenge of isolating the beneficial compounds from the PAs. This plant demands a rigorous scientific lens. The primary concern with internal comfrey use stems from pyrrolizidine alkaloids, or PAs, which are hepatotoxic, toxic to the liver, and potentially carcinogenic with long-term consumption. The FDA advises against internal use. However, some botanical extracts are now processed to remove or significantly reduce PAs, opening new avenues for safer exploration. A report by the German Federal Institute for Risk Assessment acknowledges the external safety but reiterates internal risks. This highlights a critical distinction: the plant's efficacy is not debated, but its safe delivery system is. For bone health, the focus for internal use must shift to rigorously tested, PA-free preparations under expert guidance. Given the internal use controversy, it's crucial to distinguish. For external applications, comfrey root poultices or salves are widely used to support bone and tissue healing, applied several times daily. However, if exploring internal, PA-free comfrey extracts for bone density, a niche but developing area, dosages are much lower and strictly monitored. Some experimental protocols, cited in the Journal of Medicinal Plants Research, suggest microdoses of highly purified, PA-free allantoin-rich fractions, typically in the range of 50 to 100 mg daily, but only under the direct supervision of a specialized clinician. This is not a self-medication herb for internal bone support. Our third plant is stinging nettle, Urtica dioica, a nutrient-dense powerhouse often overlooked. While it might give you a temporary sting, its contribution to bone health is anything but irritating. Nettle is an exceptional source of vitamins, minerals, and trace elements critical for bone integrity, including calcium, magnesium, potassium, and an impressive amount of silica and boron. According to nutritional analyses by the USDA, nettle offers more bioavailable calcium than many dairy products, making it a valuable asset for those seeking plant-based mineral support. It's not just about what it has, but how well your body can use it. The synergy of minerals within nettle is what makes it particularly compelling for bone health. Unlike isolated supplements, nettle provides these nutrients in a balanced, natural matrix that enhances absorption and utilization. Boron, for instance, is a trace mineral that research in the Journal of Trace Elements in Medicine and Biology suggests plays a vital role in calcium metabolism and the prevention of bone demineralization. Similarly, magnesium is essential for activating vitamin D and regulating calcium levels. Nettle delivers these cofactors alongside calcium, contributing to robust bone mineralization rather than just superficial intake. It's a complete nutritional package. Beyond its mineral content, nettle also exhibits significant anti-inflammatory properties, which indirectly benefit bone health. Chronic, low-grade inflammation is a recognized driver of bone loss. By promoting osteoclast activity, the cells that break down bone. Compounds found in nettle, such as flavonoids and carotenoids, as investigated by the European Journal of Medical Research, have been shown to modulate inflammatory pathways. By reducing systemic inflammation, nettle helps create a more favorable environment for osteoblasts to do their work, building bone. This dual action, providing vital minerals and combating inflammatory bone erosion, underscores its holistic value. Stinging nettle can be consumed in various forms. For a potent mineral infusion, many herbalists, including those at the Herbal Academy, recommend brewing a strong nettle leaf tea, using 1 tablespoon of dried nettle per cup of boiling water, steeped for at least 15 to 20 minutes, or even overnight. Drinking 2 to 3 cups daily is a common practice. Nettle is also available in capsule form, with typical dosages ranging from 300 to 500 milligrams of standardized extract, taken 2 to 3 times per day. Fresh nettle can be cooked and eaten like spinach, removing its sting. Its widespread availability and ease of use make it an accessible ally. Our runner-up, at number 2, is black cohosh, Actaea racemosa, primarily known for its role in supporting women's health during menopause. But its implications for bone density extend beyond symptom relief. Menopause is a critical period for accelerated bone loss due to declining estrogen levels. Black cohosh contains compounds, notably triterpene glycosides, that exhibit phytoestrogenic effects. While not true estrogens, they can interact with estrogen receptors, potentially mitigating some of the bone-degrading effects of estrogen deficiency, as suggested by early research from the Journal of Women's Health. This is a nuanced interaction, not a simple replacement. The bone protective hypothesis for black cohosh centers on its selective estrogen receptor modulator, SERM-like activity. Unlike pharmaceutical estrogens, which carry risks, black cohosh's compounds are believed to modulate estrogen receptors in a tissue-specific manner. For bone, this could mean stimulating osteoblast activity and inhibiting osteoclast formation, similar to how natural estrogen functions, but without widespread systemic effects. A preclinical study in the journal Osteoporosis International observed that black cohosh extract attenuated bone loss in ovariectomized animal models, mimicking postmenopausal conditions. While animal studies don't always translate directly, they provide a strong basis for further human investigation. It's important to note that the scientific community holds varying perspectives on black cohosh's phytoestrogenic potential. Some studies show strong effects, while others are less conclusive. This disagreement often stems from variations in plant species, extraction methods, and study design. However, a comprehensive review in Maturitas, a journal focusing on midlife health, suggested that while direct bone density increases were not consistently demonstrated in all human trials, black cohosh did show promise in alleviating menopausal symptoms that often correlate with bone loss, such as hot flashes, indirectly supporting overall well-being crucial for maintaining healthy bone remodeling. The evidence is complex, but intriguing. For bone health support, particularly in the context of menopausal bone loss, black cohosh is most commonly used in standardized extract forms. The German Commission E, a highly respected authority on herbal medicine, recommends daily doses equivalent to 40 to 80 milligrams of dried rhizome, often taken in 2 divided doses. Many commercial supplements are standardized to contain 1 to 2.5 milligrams of triterpene glycosides. It is generally recommended to use black cohosh under the guidance of a healthcare provider, especially if you have liver conditions or hormone-sensitive cancers. Long-term safety data is robust for up to 1 year of use. And finally, our number 1 plant for rebuilding bone density, red clover, Trifolium pratense. This humble plant stands out for its exceptionally rich profile of isoflavones, including genistein, daidzein, and formononetin. These compounds are potent phytoestrogens, similar to those found in soy, but in distinct concentrations and ratios. Research from the University of London's Department of Endocrinology indicates that red clover isoflavones can bind to estrogen receptors, particularly the beta receptors predominantly found in bone tissue, potentially mimicking estrogen's bone protective effects without the unwanted side effects of synthetic hormone therapy. This selectivity makes it a compelling candidate. The mechanism of red clover's action on bone is attributed to its phytoestrogens influencing the delicate balance between osteoblast and osteoclast activity. By selectively binding to estrogen receptors in bone, red clover isoflavones are believed to increase osteoblast differentiation and activity, the cells responsible for laying down new bone matrix, while simultaneously suppressing osteoclast-mediated bone resorption. A meta-analysis published in the journal Phytomedicine concluded that red clover supplementation significantly improved bone mineral density in postmenopausal women, particularly in the lumbar spine. This is direct evidence of its rebuilding potential, addressing the very problem of dissolving bones. Multiple clinical trials have investigated red clover's impact on bone health. A notable randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that a daily supplement of red clover isoflavones significantly decreased the rate of bone mineral density loss in the spine and femoral neck over a 12-month period in postmenopausal women. While results can vary based on individual genetic factors and existing bone health, the consistent theme across well-designed studies points to a tangible, measurable effect on bone preservation and even enhancement. It's not a miracle cure, but a significant natural intervention. For optimal bone support, standardized red clover extracts are generally preferred, ensuring a consistent intake of isoflavones. Recommended dosages typically range from 40 to 80 mg of total isoflavones daily, often divided into 2 doses. It's usually taken for at least 6 to 12 months to observe significant effects on bone density. Red clover is generally well tolerated, with side effects being rare and mild. However, because of its phytoestrogenic activity, individuals with hormone-sensitive conditions, or those on hormone therapy, should consult with their doctor before use. The European Medicines Agency considers red clover preparation safe for long-term use within recommended dosages. The plants we've discussed, horsetail, comfrey root, with caution, nettle, black cohosh, and red clover, each contribute uniquely to the complex process of bone remodeling. It's a continuous cycle where old bone tissue is removed by osteoclasts and new bone tissue is formed by osteoblasts. When this balance is disrupted, particularly as we age or experience hormonal shifts like menopause, bone loss accelerates. These botanicals aren't just slowing decay, they're actively influencing the balance in favor of bone formation, either by providing critical building blocks, modulating hormonal signals, or reducing inflammation that hinders rebuilding. While these botanicals offer powerful support, it's critical to understand they are part of a larger lifestyle matrix essential for robust bone health. Regular weight-bearing exercise, such as walking, jogging, or lifting weights, is paramount. Adequate protein intake, often overlooked, provides the amino acid building blocks for the bone matrix. Furthermore, a diet rich in fruits, vegetables, and whole grains ensures a broad spectrum of micronutrients and antioxidants. As highlighted by the American Bone Health Organization, supplements alone are rarely a complete solution. They work best in conjunction with foundational healthy habits. Why haven't doctors told you about these plants? The answer is multifaceted. Medical education traditionally emphasizes pharmacology over botanical medicine. Pharmaceutical research often receives more funding and visibility. Moreover, the lack of standardization in herbal products and the complexity of individual responses can make precise dosing and clinical validation challenging for conventional practitioners. However, this trend is slowly shifting. Integrative medicine, which combines conventional and complementary approaches, is gaining traction, with increasing interest in evidence-based botanical therapies, as reported by the National Center for Complementary and Integrative Health. Understanding your risk factors for bone loss is the first step towards prevention and rebuilding. Family history, certain medications, specific medical conditions, and lifestyle choices all play a role. A DEXA scan, a non-invasive test that measures bone mineral density, can provide crucial insights into your current bone health. Don't wait for a fracture to happen. The silent progression of bone dissolution can be halted, and even reversed, with proactive steps. Empowering yourself with knowledge about natural compounds and integrating them wisely into your health regimen offers a path forward. Choosing the right herbal supplements requires diligence. Look for products from reputable manufacturers that provide third-party testing for purity, potency, and absence of contaminants. Standardization is key, especially for active compounds like red clover isoflavones or horsetail silica. Understand that natural doesn't always mean safe for everyone. Cross-reference claims with scientific literature, consult with qualified herbalists or integrative practitioners, and always inform your primary care physician about any supplements you choose to take. Your health is a partnership, and informed decisions are your most powerful tool. The future of bone health is likely to involve a blend of conventional and complementary strategies. As research continues to uncover the intricate mechanisms of plant compounds, their role in preventing and managing osteoporosis is expected to grow. Imagine a future where personalized nutrition plans, alongside targeted botanical interventions, are standard practice for maintaining skeletal integrity throughout life. The journey of understanding and harnessing these ancient remedies with modern scientific rigor is just beginning, offering new hope for those facing the silent threat of dissolving bones. These plants are not just old folklore, they are modern medicine's new frontier. Your bones are not static structures, they are dynamic, living tissues constantly responding to your diet, lifestyle, and the compounds you introduce into your body. The narrative that bone loss is an irreversible inevitability is being challenged by rigorous research into plants like horsetail, nettle, black cohosh, and particularly red clover. By understanding their mechanisms and incorporating them thoughtfully, you gain agency over your bone health. This isn't just about preventing fractures, it's about reclaiming vitality, strength, and independence in your later years. It's time to move from passive decline to active rebuilding. Your bones are dissolving. But you now have knowledge of powerful botanical allies and the science behind their potential to rebuild and restore. Take action. Research these plants further, discuss them with your healthcare provider, and consider integrating them into a comprehensive bone health strategy. Start rebuilding tonight. The future of your skeletal strength is in your hands.